The last dark truth I wanted to put out there, an opinion more than anything else. The human race cannot be saved. If you're familiar with the myth of Pandora's box, well, it's more like Pandora's jar or something. All this horrible stuff came out when it was unlocked. There's one thing left inside the jar that's mystified philosophers for a while, and that is hope, essentially. The box contained hope. And I think that was actually the most detrimental blow. Hope crushes us. I've seen hope just destroy people. It's often in the movies and everything is lauded as the one last thing. You got to keep hold of hope. But hope is wishing for control over the future that you can't control. It's a setup to fail. And I don't think it's necessary to enjoy life. And as a lot of you will probably feel these days when you look at the threat of World War III, which is, I guess, already happening, climate change, the political divisions around the world, the sort of just AI and robots coming to take us over, you can feel like we're rushing towards the edge of the cliff. And every generation before us has felt this way, but we might actually be more legitimately concerned. But everyone's felt this way. And hoping that it won't happen will kill your spirit because there's very little you can do about 7 billion other humans rushing towards the brink. There's very little impact you can have. In fact, deliberately trying to have an impact may have the opposite effect. You might do more harm than good. You don't even know the right thing to do to have a good impact. Individual humans are pretty impressive, but once we get into groups of two or three or more and that hive mind takes over, we become quite terrible. We really do. It's groups who have wars and who pillage and rape and riot. Individuals generally don't harm other people unless they're put in extreme circumstances. Very few people are criminals. But you put them in a big enough group, they'll commit hate crimes, they'll commit genocides. We have scientists that can't seem to hold themselves back and resist the urge to create technology that we're not mature enough to control. From nuclear weapons to artificial intelligence and robotics that could wipe us all out without feeling a thing. Like, we can't stop ourselves from creating technology that it's like giving a machine gun to a toddler. The only possible outcome, and I don't say this with pessimism, is extinction. Even if we're really well behaved, the sun's got to go out at some point. Even if we travel to the stars, those suns are going to go out at some point. The universe is going to go cold and dark at some point. The idea that the human race could be eternal, it's ridiculous considering how poorly behaved we are. We haven't been around for very long in terms of how long species go for on this planet. Like a couple of 100,000 years is not a long time in evolutionary terms. And we're already right on the brink. Like that's very quick. Dinosaurs lasted millions of years, right? And they would have kept going if it wasn't for the comet, as far as I understand. We've only been around a blink of an eye and we've already fucked up most of it. But the good news is this is not new information. We've always been doomed. This is not like something that we could prevent. Let's say we somehow turn around climate change and we destroy all nuclear weapons and we shut down the AI. Then what? The sun goes out. Like I said, like the resources get used up. A comet hits Earth again. There's an end game coming at some point. There's no point getting all worked up about whichever one it's going to be. It's going to happen. There's no point trying to adjust how you're going to live. Let's say you don't want to have kids because you're worried about the world they're coming into. Like, just have kids if you want to have kids. Right? Just go do the job you want to do, even if the economy looks bad. Just go do whatever life it is you want to have with acceptance that everything comes to an end. Your life will end and all humanity will end. Everything's going to end. That's not a reason not to start. The bit you do in between is all that you got. You shouldn't hold back because it doesn't go forever. Right? You're already aware that you won't last forever, right? And yet you still do shit. Just going to quickly interrupt this message to tell you about a great opportunity for you. Now, if you're the kind of person who wants to live with integrity and become really confident and socially adept, then I'd like to invite you to come and join my Brojo community on School. This is the premier free community for people who want to build their confidence, become socially adept, and learn to live with pure integrity. As a member, you'll gain access to comprehensive discussions on how to be more confident, courses and coaching and support from senior members to help you develop your progress on your specific goals. Our members have quite literally transformed their lives. We really focus on what actually works and gets results, and we make sure we stick with you until you get those results. And as a bonus for joining, you'll actually get my Nice Guy Recovery and Confidence Building course absolutely free. So join us today. Start your journey towards unbreakable self-confidence. Click on the link below or search for Brojo School online, and we'll see you in there. Now, you can still fight good fights if it gives you meaning and purpose, but let go of the idea that you're actually going to turn the tide around. I used to try and change the world. I got this theory that basically if everybody had true self-confidence, humans would never do any stupid shit. We wouldn't ruin the environment. We wouldn't have wars. We wouldn't create technology that was going to kill us. We'd hold ourselves back and restrain ourselves and live sustainably and all that. So I was like, okay, if I just make everyone confident, then I'll save the world, egotistical fuckwit that I am. And I thought, you know what? It takes me like 3 months of work to make one dude confident. I'm going to do the whole world. There's 7 billion of them, and most of them don't know me or want to know me, right? How? I'm not going to be able to do this. I don't have the means or the resources. The top influential people in my industry still barely make a difference. What am I supposed to be? Some fucking superhero? I gotta let go of that or I'm gonna be miserable. Now I can help that one dude for 3 months or 6 months. That I can do. And that will ripple out to his kids and his friends. And I'll light up my little corner of the world and make some barely noticeable difference. That I can do. Not to save the human race, though, just to have a good life, just to like being me. Sometimes there's some fun in fighting a losing battle. Like if you put me in a ring with somebody who's a better fighter than me, I'm not just going to lie down. I'll fight back, but I know I'm going to lose. If you put me in a chess match against someone who's a grandmaster, I'll be excited about playing a grandmaster, but I'm not going to try and get a checkmate. I'm just going to try and survive as long as I can and try and like win some pieces. That would be a win. Death's inevitable, both for the individual and the species, and the only thing we can do with that information is try to have a good life. That's the only available thing. Travel, start a business, have kids, learn a language, try to invest some money. Like, do it as if it's going to be all right because you know it's not going to be. Giving up, what's the point? Doing that sort of depressed, well, it's all going to suck anyway, I give up. So it's always been the case that it's going to end eventually. So you might as well do something good with the time. You might have a few happy moments. You might do something that has a lasting impact on a few people, right? I can't change the world, but I can have a pretty big impact on my daughter, which will have an impact on her friends, her kids, whatever else she comes into contact with. I can feel good about that. Do good for the sake of doing good rather than trying to change the world. That's what I'm saying. Thank you so much for listening. I don't know how dark these truths were, but they're revelations that have been very helpful for my development of my confidence. Hopefully they can help you too. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time. Are you a nice guy or people pleaser who wishes they were more assertive, more honest, and better respected by others? Since 2013, I've been helping people just like you discover their integrity and apply it courageously to build deep and meaningful connections, get respected by others, and become the confident person you've always wanted to be. Imagine being able to speak your mind without worrying what other people will think or worrying that it's the right thing to say, and being able to assertively stand up for yourself and your loved ones. Imagine never feeling the need to apologize for who you are or what you want, and being able to live carefree without shame or the I'm not good enough story in your head. Imagine going to bed knowing that you courageously took every opportunity available to you and you've got no regrets because you always know what you should be doing in every situation. I'm so confident in my ability to help people like you unleash your highest level of self-worth that I give people a free coaching session to test what I'm doing. In this 1 hour session, we will uncover the biggest barrier to your confidence, whether it's an awareness problem, you don't know what you should be doing differently, or it's a courage problem, you know what you should be doing, but you find it too intimidating. I will guide you to make a breakthrough with your behavior to get through that barrier in a powerful way without feeling terrified and without destroying everything you love. I've had some people find this first session so powerful that I never hear from them again simply because they didn't need anything more after that. It launched them into the highest level of confidence that they've ever experienced. And if that's the result you get, I'm good with that. One client put it, this session was more valuable to me than 3 years of therapy combined. So if you're tired of trying to keep everybody happy and you're sick of worrying what other people think of you and you're concerned that your people pleasing and conflict avoidance is going to damage your relationships, then come and have a talk with me. Worst case scenario, you get to experience what it's like to talk with someone who actually understands what it's like to be you. I've lived the nice guy experience for decades. I know it inside and out. I know that pain. Case scenario, and very likely, you will have such a powerful insight into a behavioral change that you can make in the next 24 hours to significantly improve your confidence, relationships, and career. All I ask is that you be honest, open to change, and willing to try something new. Why wait another 10 years to discover confidence when you can do it today? Fill out the brief form below to apply for a trial coaching session. And do this quickly because there are limited spots each month. And then I'll get back to you to book in a time to talk.